great.
She'll take it. Okay.
That's right. That's special. Any of them got money? Any older gentlemen that I could shack up with? That'd be fine. She went to sugar daddy in the first way. That was the first time I ever really experienced what she was like. She saw this old guy. And she literally said, "He's cute." He's like 60. Yeah, but he's cute. And I thought I wanted the sugar daddy. I'm like, oh god.
And folks on the stream, sorry about the weirdness going on there. Yeah, it's fixed now. It's because the keyboard that I'm using has no arrow keys, and it's like the arrow keys and the number pad kind of overlap, and it depends on whether or not you have the num lock on. But I also have a hotkey set in XSplit to change scenes using the number pad.
I'm so glad you were wearing a shirt and pants.
As far as you know, I'm wearing pants.
Okay.
Because that shot was only from like the belly button up, so.
I was like, you can turn it back on. I'll turn my camera on. We can just do cam show. Wait, that sounded weird.
Yeah. Especially after you saying that, I am totally not doing that now.
Oh God. Wow. Stay classy, Katie. Stay classy.
Painting my nails while we're waiting.
It's more like he's more.
Well, so yeah, we've got just a couple minutes till it's time.
It's okay. I already went and smoked and fed my pets.
Fed your pets? Oh, your raccoon?
Yep.
Better than smoking your pets.
True. Very true.
I don't know what that means, but.
Oh my god. And it's like I've become kind of addicted. It's like we don't really have that many notes for a while, so I was like, well, I don't have to really be pressured about show notes. And I was just like, oh god, but I gotta do these and get them out of the way. And I'm like, I have all this time to play Diablo. So I played Diablo until like the very last minute I could.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna probably talk mostly about Diablo anyway.
And then I watched Tombstone.
There's no way you did show notes and watch the entirety of Tombstone between the time when you got off of Diablo and now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did you watch it on like 1 1/4 speed or something? That's a long ass movie.
Well, I got up right when they were finished, when they went to Henry Hooker's ranch.
Oh, okay.
Because of Doc Holliday getting really, really sick, so it's towards the very end.
So you didn't watch it in its entirety then? What you're telling me is you lied to me just now.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we might experience some turbulence in the flight tonight. Please have your tray table and your seats in its upright
And how come
position.
all the time, and what about all the times that you lied to me? Or that you only told me like half truths?
That's not a lie. Anyway.
Where were you at 8 o'clock? Huh?
Eating dinner.
Huh?
Where
were you?
Eating dinner. In my dining room. Anyway, you guys ready?
Throw some dishes at you. Okay, we're ready.
All right, here we go.
5, 4, 3. Fuck it. There's no words on it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. I've never seen that. Fucking thing sucks. There's no words there. Fuck it. There's no words on it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. I've never seen that. Fucking thing sucks. There's no words there. I don't know. Fuck. 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 I don't know. What? Go. I can't do it. Fuck it. Go. I can't do it. Fuck it. Go. I can't do it. Fuck it. Go. I can't do it. Thanks again for watching. Fuck it. There's no words on it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. I've never seen that. Fucking thing sucks. There's no words there. Fuck it. There's no words on it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. I've never seen that. Fucking thing sucks. There's no words there. Take it away. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
This is Ben Brode, game designer on Hearthstone, and you're listening to the Epic Podcast.
This is the beginning and the end. You're listening to the Epic Podcast Show with your hosts, Lignar, Walmardian.
He told me to tie her up and do whatever I wanted to her. So I took a stereo.
And Medicakes.
Do you think the expansion will make me fat?
Enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Howdy, folks. You're listening to Epic Podcast. That was me just totally trolling Maddie there to see if she was going to start it or not, even though my name was next to it in the show notes. My name is Lignar. With me is Medicakes and Mardian, a.k.a. Joe. How you guys doing tonight?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
It's going to be one of those shows.
I kind of opened my mouth when I didn't hear anything from you. I was like, dude, his name is right next to those fucking notes.
And of course, I'm scrambling. I'm like, I don't think I was.
I'm like, no. So you know what? I'm going to keep silent, and if he doesn't say anything, I'm going to make a smart-ass remark.
So did you start to say, or did I get some kind of audio feedback? Because I thought you started to say something when
I opened my mouth and I was inhaling. I was like, son of a bitch, I'm going to have to do this.
See, like I said, I get a mini heart attack whenever something goes wrong with the show because many will not let me forget it. So I try and keep those to a minimum.
Anyway,
nobody knows how to do reply to all around here.
I guess I totally went off script, and not that we have a script for it, but Epic podcast for the community. Lignar, Medicakes, and Walmardian. I'm sick. Give me a break.
Oh, God. I like how we have a myriad of excuses.
Bottle of too
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm actually to demonstrate. Like those of you who know me, listen to the show. Those of you who actually know me, it's 9:00. I'm drinking coffee.
Are you? Who the hell are you?
Exactly, because I figured the coffee would help my throat and my cough.
Ooh,
so.
Oh, by the way, I don't know. We didn't discuss this, but Ro and I had a bit of a conversation about this. Earlier, I tweeted you that link to the Let It Go video from Jimmy Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
And he was
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but yeah.
Okay. They're using school instruments to do Let It Go from Frozen. And he had these blocks that he was clicking together, and it said L-I-G, and he was clicking them together. So I'm like, hey, I never really realized that they spelled anything. I didn't pay attention, and I was like, hey, it says leg. You know, just throwing that out there. And of course, Ro, Mr. Genius, and has to know everything. He's just like, Joe, you realize L-I-G probably means let it go. I don't think it had anything to do with leg. I'm
pretty sure. I'm
such a moron.
Jimmy Fallon did call me, and I'm like, yeah, that's not me.
Well, no, I know it didn't really have anything to do with you, but I'm stupid and didn't even think about let it go. So props on Ro for being the internet referee and calling a foul and throwing the flag out because I was stupid. I admit it. So whatever. Anyway, totally hijacking, but go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess we'll start off. Since, we had 2 episodes ago. It was like, well, we're going, we don't need rails. Shit, we didn't even see the rails this time. I mean,
this shit has no rails.
So what's been going on this past week for you, Maddie?
Choo choo. Diablo. Hey. FERT is progressing on Wing 4. We didn't one shot. We 3-shot it to Paragon to Claxy, and got our first look at Garrosh, and he hurt a lot.
Yes, he did.
But I think maybe a week or a couple of weeks, and we will have completed Siege of Orgrimmar.
Yeah, so I think they said the plan was we're going to do Wing 3 again and then come back straight to Garrosh, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if we can one-shot all of Wing 3, I think we're pretty set on starting on Wing 4 and progressing from that. We've been progressing Progressing.
She's hunting rabbits.
We're progressing.
Spew a magic helmet. Okay, sorry. Damn it, like. Cresting on Wing 3 with Okahosen style, my other A team. And I've been raiding on my hunter with them instead of my healer, because my hunter is awesome. And I've become heavily addicted on the hunter. So, and then been playing a lot of Diablo for Souls, because it's awesome. Loving it. Anyways, what have you been up to, Joe?
Well, you know me and WoW, definitely leveling more characters. I've got, of course, the 24. I've got two more now at 85 sitting in Pandaria waiting, and had the nice opportunity this past week. You call her the Taurus. A lot of people, I don't know what, I call her Persacity because she's just very sassy. And she on Twitter the other day was saying that she was going to RAF a new account. And I was like, hey, I'll be all over that. Obviously, I'm leveling characters anyway. So put a character on Dalaran where Phalanx and Nod is with Seraphis and Zia and Rayfist. And I'm like, sweet, we'll go ahead and we'll push those characters up. I've never RAFed before, believe it or not. I mean, except for one time, and it was not even for the entirety of it. So I've never fully RAFed a character before. So for all my characters, this is an odd experience for me. So we went ahead and pushed those characters up to 70 this past week. Effie, my girlfriend, she went ahead and pushed us through dungeons and stuff. And man, that was fast. So we are up to 70 already. I also created another character on that server and got granted levels, so now I have another 70. So we'll be pushing those characters up to 85. My other character will get those other levels and also be 85. So I'll have 4 characters in Pandaland and be, close to being 28 into my 30 goals. So that's what I've been mostly doing. And then, of course, like you said, Reaper of Souls, ever since that came out, my God, I had a blast with that. Just we're going through it on Torment. We're not really pushing through to see the story quite yet. We're just going through on Torment. But we are having an absolute blast playing, me and Effie. I've never played Diablo with anybody else. I usually just soloed. So this has been a fun experience. So yeah, I'm loving it.
But, we do have friend list, and you can always be like, hey, Manny, I want to play with you in a platonic way
no.
on Diablo.
Thank God you added that. But yes, no, I understand. I was into the game originally when it came out, mostly for the story. Didn't get into it after that because I didn't feel farming and playing on harder levels, but playing the same content over and over was exciting. Now the way they've switched it around, and like you were talking about adventure mode and everything, like those kind of things excite me. So I'll probably be playing a lot more Diablo than I played before.
Hold on. Can I interrupt? You said that you don't like playing content that you've already played before. And how many level 90s do you have in WoW?
Okay, now let me clarify. And I had to do this for somebody the other day. At least there, I have variances in what zones I go to and stuff like that. I have options what content I do each time. Now, granted, I'm pretty OCD, but like I said, it was the forced going through the same story over and over again on increasingly harder difficulties where I didn't feel like the rewards were really worth it. I didn't, and they've changed that with the new loot system and everything. It makes it it feels more valuable to do that. Whereas before I felt like I got a shit ton of gear, but I never had any, I had bank tunes in Diablo for a while there because I had so much crap and I wasn't sure what was really valuable like on the auction house and what wasn't. So I started shifting stuff around. So, I'm way past that whole thing now. So I'm really enjoying it though. I love the new 2.0 stuff, but this new story and going through new content, it's been a blast. So what about you, Lake? What's been going on with you?
Not a whole lot in game actually. Dabbled a little bit in Smite since the last time we recorded. Some FERT rating, just not going to repeat what Mehdi said basically. I wasn't there for the last half of Thursday night. I was literally falling asleep in my chair, and I thought, I'm a bigger liability than asset right now. So I went ahead and bailed and for Thursday. But yeah, I'm really glad the way things are going with the raid team right now. It's a lot of fun. I spent more time waiting on Diablo to show up than I have playing it, and I've beaten it already. So, granted, I'm not playing on Torment. So, maybe a little bit more on that later when we actually get to that point in the show notes. But digging Diablo, like I think somebody said in the chat room that the some of I think it's scrolled by already, but like they've only seen everybody on their friends list but one or two has been playing Diablo. I think that's been the case for me, except I think Corey from Azeroth Pirate Radio, I've seen him playing WoW. I've seen other people here and there playing Hearthstone, but almost everybody's playing Diablo. I mean, it just came out yesterday. So, but almost everybody on my friends list is playing Diablo or Hearthstone. I've seen Rowan and I've seen you, Joe, in Hearthstone. But I think everybody else has been in Diablo every time I've checked.
WoW too, but yeah,
I've not seen you.
List. Yeah, I looked at my list last night. It was I think 9 in WoW and 8.
Oh wow! Diablo. I'm actually surprised there's that many in WoW.
Well, I've got 100 people on my list. So
okay.
I don't know if that matters.
I haven't even done LFR on my answer yet, which I need to do. But Diablo.
Yes, so much Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo is. Yeah, it's. We're going to kind of dig into, I guess, our early impressions. Even though, like, Mehdi and I have completed the campaign, we've completed Act 5. Still going to be early impressions. I mean, like I said, the game just came out yesterday, so let's go ahead and talk about some actual WoW news before we get into that. So,
okay, let's do that. MMO Champion has, and we've seen. I think they included tweets in this. Did they not? Yes, talking about new ArtCraft coming out, looking at the female Draenei and the Tauren as well. Look like the first week of April. So, very interested to see this one. A lot of people are really into Tauren and Draenei. I've noticed, Tauren seem to have some really loyal folks, but Draenei really do too. So I think it's that butt. It must be. So they do have nice tails, but I think I like tail. But I think it's just. That's one of the reasons probably why these are kind of coming out a little bit later. It seemed like I think they showed the Tauren at BlizzCon, not during like one of the main panels, but the art panel, if I remember it. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember for sure. So either way, I think that might be why there's some very specific ones they've kind of waited on, and it seems like Blood Elves, Night Elves, these two in particular, I think they waited on those because they're a little more beloved, it seems like, by some folks, or at least those folks are pretty passionate, so they probably took their time on those. So I'm looking forward to that. Now somebody mentioned somewhere, I think it was on Reddit, where it's like first week of April might be an April Fool's joke. I'm like, I don't think so. No, I don't think they would officially announce that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you think they're actually going to announce, hey, here comes our April Fool's joke?
We want to piss people off.
Right.
Yeah. No. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to those. That'll be very, very interesting. So it's the Draenei female and the male Tauren, it looks like. So, and it says apparently it's going to be looking at their animations as well, not simply just...
Well, just the Tauren animation.
Yeah, the Tauren male.
Yeah. M.A. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So that should be interesting. Looking forward to I can't wait to see all these because I just absolutely love what they're doing. So, again, as somebody who wants to be a machinimator, seeing what they did with the that gnome and that boosted 91. So I'm excited to see what else they do.
Well, plus I mean, they're even like, even when they publish this stuff, they're still going back and fixing it. Like they did some updates to the female dwarf. And changed. I don't remember what it's something about the way like they felt the face was kind of distorted, and they went and fixed it. So even though we're seeing these models out there on the viewer, and it could have just been maybe there was a software bug with the viewer that's on the Warlords site. Maybe that's what they fixed, but they did fix something with the female dwarf that they didn't like how it looked.
Right.
So It's interesting to know that. Interesting to see that, like, outside of like the only one that I really remember is the female Worgen, how it changed from alpha and early beta into what we saw in Cataclysm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I'm not used to seeing Blizzard like change stuff after they've put it out like that. You know what I mean? It's like
right. Well, I think that was part of the reason for all of this stuff ahead of time, because they've made it very clear this was a very touchy subject for them. They were really worried about messing with things that people had.
It froze up on me.
I'm gonna jump right over Joe's words, and then it's gonna freeze up on me. I figured No. I just, for all the times we've done it to you, I figured. That's why I was like, I'll just let her go. She never does that.
Broomfondle's asking in the chat room if we think that the character models are the reason the expansion is so far away, or do we think they're having other issues? I don't think it's the character models, because they said in the very beginning that they may not even be done when the expansion launches. I mean, they said that in 2011 when they admitted that they're working on new character models, and they're like, we want to have them in for the next expansion, but it may come later. So I think they'll launch without them. I really do. If that's like the last thing holding them up, I think they'll launch without them and add them in patches. I don't know that they're having other issues. It just, I mean, when you think about it, Ghostcrawler leaving probably set them back a little bit.
Yeah, I would still really like to find out the behind the scenes of that stuff. Obviously, it could be a year or two, whatever else, but at some point, it would be nice to kind of know how that whole thing shook out.
What, with Ghostcrawler leaving?
Yeah, I mean, how much advance notice they had, that sort of thing, and how much it did affect things.
Right, and I don't think it really matters how much advance notice you have when you have somebody that's a lead. They and I'm not saying that Celestalon is not capable, but there's some ramp up time for being that lead to take over that role, and it is a setback. And I don't think it's going to delay the whole expansion, but I think it can have a trickle down effect or a snowball effect with any project. Not when somebody who's a lead. And I don't know. I'm not saying they have other issues. I would really like to know what's taking them so long. Just based on. I'm saying it was taking them so long for beta because just based on 2011 and what we saw of Mists of Pandaria and when beta came out versus 2013 and what we saw of Warlords, and beta still hasn't come out. It seemed like, and they said it seemed like they were further along, and they said it seems like they're further along in development, but yet it's a longer time from announced to beta.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, if you would have told me it was going to probably be April or later for a beta, like back with BlizzCon in particular, I would have been kind of terrified.
Right.
Because it just, I don't know. I just feel like I thought with the way they were ramping out content so quickly that they would have been prepared to do that even with an expansion.
And this is what is one of the reasons why I don't think they're going to have BlizzCon. Yeah. I really don't think. I mean, just with it seems like a delay with the beta of Warlords.
Yeah, well,
and it's March 26th, and they usually announced it February, March,
late February,
for the
early
BlizzCon.
March. Yeah.
So it's like I think this delay has snuffed out any possible idea of BlizzCon.
Yeah, and I've been leaning towards, but there's other people who talked about it, and we didn't talk about it last week, about the direct TV, the pay-per-view, like that page got updated to say 2014.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really mean shit, really.
No.
It could be that they had a draft for it in case they were going to do BlizzCon, and that slipped in for some whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaning towards they're not going to do a BlizzCon either. If 2012 was too busy of a year for them to have a BlizzCon, 2014 has to be.
Yeah, but I think they don't want. I mean,
I know you're going to say the movie. I know, and I agree with you.
No. I'm thinking that I think they learned that wasn't a good thing for them to skip one. But, and I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they were too busy then. I don't think that'll necessarily be just that. I mean, we're talking about all these different game releases. I think the big problem is they may have a major release of Warlords right around the time when the BlizzCon should take place.
That's something I was getting ready to say is maybe they're planning, maybe that is part of the delay for Warlords, is they're planning BlizzCon, and they've talked about how much of an impact it has on their development cycle and the availability of their teams. Maybe they're adding that in to Warlords release, and that's why they're waiting. Maybe that's the delay. We don't know. I'm leaning more towards there's not going to be a BlizzCon.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying I want there to not be a BlizzCon.
No,
I definitely want there to be. But I'm just leaning towards, because, you know, we got, Hearthstone just went live, right? We got Warlords coming out this year by this fall, or this fall. We've got Heroes of the Storm, which is probably going to be, I mean, it's in technical alpha now. It's going to be well into beta, if not on the verge of going live by the time BlizzCon will be here. We're going to be looking at Legacy of the Void coming out not too long after BlizzCon. I'm not saying it's going to be out before BlizzCon, but I would expect a beta shortly after BlizzCon, if not before. I don't know. Then you've got maybe Titan that we all seem to have forgotten about. Titan didn't get scrapped. It just went back to the drawing board, and they could ramp that project up at any time. Maybe that's part of the delay. Maybe they've moved people back over to Titan, and we don't know about it because a lot of those people went over to WoW. So, I mean, there's any number of things that could be what the quote-unquote delay is. And we just have to wait and see, honestly.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Obviously, we all want there to actually be a BlizzCon. Why wouldn't we want to be? I mean, anybody that went last year or ever has gone would never want not to have one. But I don't know. We'll see. I hope so. But I do worry when once they said that the expansion would be on or before December 20th. I'm like,
which a lot of people took that to mean, oh, this is coming out in December. Yeah. I'm like, no, that's just the last day of fall.
Right. Well, and it's also covering their ass legally if they have to. I mean, they probably put it way far back, at their worst expectations, just so that they didn't get any legal crap coming back on them saying, hey, you said, and I don't know what the implications of what that could be, but
right. So. And Broomfano, Heroes and StarCraft, they're not the same teams. There is a lot of overlap, but they're not the one. It's not a 1-for-1. There is still a StarCraft team that's not working on Heroes, and there are people who work on Heroes who never did work on StarCraft. They're actually hiring now, so there is a lot of overlap. Though you're right, but they've been working on Legacy of the Void for probably the past year. So. I'm not saying that it will be this year, but we will hear something about Legacy of the Void at BlizzCon because we're going to be due. We are, Heart of the Swarm is a year old. It came out last March. It is a year old, or maybe it was March, because Diablo came out in May, right? Diablo 3?
I don't remember.
Because it's like March. It either came out in March or May. I think it came out in March.
That was March.
What, Heart of the Swarm or Diablo?
Diablo.
Okay, I want to say then Heart of the Swarm may have been May, but we're coming up on it's been out a year, and they've got a 2-year life cycle on StarCraft so far, with Wings of Liberty and then Heart of the Swarm. They need to get Legacy of the Void out so they can not have 2 HOTS games. So, just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean we're going to hear a lot about it at BlizzCon, and ironically, if there is a BlizzCon this year. WoW won't be the featured game. It won't be. Beta will, if it hasn't launched yet by the time BlizzCon rolls around, it will have been in beta so long. All the information everybody wants is already out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Sure.
Anyway, you guys want to move on, or you want to keep talking about?
No, I'm good.
There's a conversation on Twitter between a player and I don't remember his real name. It's HWoo on Twitter's. That's what he puts his name in, about profession catch-up. And he basically said, of the various catch-up systems we experimented with in Myst, we liked herbalism and mining the best. The plan is for more like that, but he wouldn't go into more detail. I think skinning could easily work that way. Any of the gathering professions could easily work, but that's it. That's mining, herbalism, skinning. What other gathering profession? That's it, right?
Right. Yeah, as far as like the jewel crafting, engineering, blacksmithing,
there needs to be catch-ups, but they can't work that way. I don't see how. Maybe they can. I don't know, but I don't see how they could work the same way as the Gathering.
No, they did do the catch-up with the blacksmithing.
Right.
Right.
Jewel crafting desperately needs one.
Sprockets or make so many gems and I don't know. Do something. Stop robbing me.
Jewel crafting definitely needs one. Did leatherworking get one?
I don't think so.
No, leatherworking didn't.
So yeah, I mean, they definitely need some catch-ups, and I don't know how they could take the crafting professions and give them similar catch-ups to the gathering professions. It just doesn't. I don't know. They're the game designers. They're smart people.
They get paid for it, you know?
Yeah, and the other neat thing that came out was something that is going to would have been handy today when I could have just chatted somebody from the Battle.net desktop client and say, hey, Joe, get ready for the show. Because I could see you were playing Diablo, but you weren't answering Skype. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if I could chat him. But that's coming soon. They apparently it's ready. That they just didn't want to put it in before Reaper Souls came out because they're afraid it would cause problems, which makes sense. You don't want to make 2 changes at once. So, but I'm looking forward to that. And it kind of upsets me that, we heard a couple weeks ago that the Appear Offline feature was backburnered again. So,
how I long for that.
The Appear Offline feature?
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
Something,
I mean, for making videos or like when Heroes comes out and like I want to cast, I'm not going to want people sending me whispers while I'm trying to cast a game.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes for videos, but sometimes I just feel bad that if I'm going to be doing, say, the holiday bosses, like, and I have all these 90s and I'm flipping from character to character to character, I feel bad. I feel like actually guilty that I'm like spamming people with login.
Oh, don't worry, it's annoying. It is.
I'm sure it is.
Just think of me, Joe. You don't have to feel bad for me because I turned that shit off.
I do too.
Like
I have all that stuff off because I don't want people's names and stuff appearing in my videos, but still, some people don't.
And I know that I've been guilty of it. It's a couple of times, but holding whole conversations with the status.
Oh God.
Oh my God. I mean, a quick blurb.
Can't do that.
A quick blurb, to say, hey, I'm in a dungeon, bam, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the whole back and forth conversations. And I'm just like, you have Twitter and you have Facebook. Stop it.
I don't even whisper people in game and have conversations there. Some people think I'm completely antisocial for that, but I have my list across realm and stuff like that. I don't have it to chit chat because that's what I have Skype and I have Twitter and everything else for.
Yeah, so, I don't do much chatting like that in game. If I see somebody, like if somebody whispers me, that's fine. I don't care. But especially if I see them in another game, I'm not going to say anything to them.
Right.
Like if I see them, they're in WoW, they're on another server, I might be like, hey, you want to, run this or, want to do Holiday Boss. I might hit them up for something like that. But to just chat, no, I'm not going to, especially if they're in StarCraft or they're in Hearthstone or something, I'm not going to just start chatting with them. It's, I'll send them a tweet or a text message or something like that. So anyway, I guess that's it for that one. Maddie, you want to take that last one?
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate.
Since,
Oh, you mean this one about Reaper Souls?
Yeah, that
one. Oh, goodness gracious. So Monday afternoon I was talking with Ro, and I was like, man, I gotta get some sleep, and I can't wait until Tuesday, but it sucks because I actually have to go to bed, and everything what are you talking about? It comes out at midnight for East Coast. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God. And I never got the nap that I wanted. So anyways, I stayed up until it launched with Rome. We played a couple good 2 hours, I think. Maybe 2 hours. All I know is I went to bed at 2:30 in the morning. And yes. It's fun, but I got some issues. So let's just go ahead and dive into what came with Reaper souls besides death. That sounded kind of cute. Death came.
But no one can stop death.
Oh my.
He has amazing recovery time.
Okay, so
pills, no one can stop death. Anyway.
So first impressions. I'm just let's back on the rails here. So first impressions for me.
Well, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I said, what came with Reavers. Damn it. Anyway, so aside from it being an expansion, and I say this in air quotation marks because this really wasn't an expansion. New gameplay mode, adventure mode. New currency, blood shards. A new feature with bounties, Nephilim rifts, Nephilim rift pylons. We'll get into that later. New class, the Crusader. New artisan, the Mystic. Along with that came enchantment and transmog. Also legendary and set items, legendary crafting guide, all that fun stuff. So, yes.
Right. Now can we get back to the show notes?
Yeah, sure. But
sorry, my throat hurts. And I'm just like, let's wrap this show up. I mean, I don't want to just like, fuck it, we're done, but like.
Sure, you too, man.
But, okay, so first impressions, like of overall of the game. Like, I disagree with you. I think it's an expansion. You said it's not really an expansion. It's not a big expansion. The story.
It's more kind of like a patch.
The story. I mean, there was a Metacritic review that Scott Johnson highlighted. Said something about this is like a DLC-sized quote unquote expansion or something like that. And as far as the story is concerned, I agree. It's really short.
Thank you. Okay. All right. I give it that much.
But to say it's not an expansion, I mean, there is a new class. There's an entirely new mechanic system. And, I mean, it is. There's entirely new play modes. And it's an expansion. I think Act 5 is a little too short. I have nothing wrong with the story itself.
Actually, I disagree.
Okay. Because Joe's not finished it, so I don't want to spoil the story. But so without too much detail, what are your problems with the story?
For me, I didn't get enough details of exactly what was going on.
I can agree with that.
It's like, and I cannot pronounce his name right. Deaf dude, Daddy. I'm going to call him Daddy.
Mathael?
What?
Mathael?
Mathiel?
Mathael?
See, you can't even pronounce it right.
I thought it was Mathael. Anyway.
It's Daddy. I'm going to call him Daddy.
Daddy? All right.
So he's like, I hate demons, so I'm going to kill everybody who has demon blood, including the Nephilim, and including, everybody on Earth, because everybody's evil. Is that what he's saying? Really? Everybody is evil. Even the little child has...
Yes.
Okay.
That's Diablo lore that he's talking about.
Okay. All right.
Do you want me to explain it real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay. So there was what they used it during the story a few times called the eternal conflict, right?
Right.
And that was between the angels and the demons. That was between the heavens and the hells, right? Then there was some angels and demons who decided, fuck this, we don't want to fight anymore. They went and fell in love and had a kid, and that's the Nephilim. So they're part angel, part demon. And that's
so everybody in
every human
in the world?
Yes, and they created sanctuary to make it a sanctuary.
Okay.
It's appropriately named, and they decided that they agreed that they would not interfere. The heavens would not interfere, the hells would not interfere. They would let the Nephilim, aka the people, be, and let them choose their own fate. And Daddy, as you're calling him, has decided he wants to end the eternal conflict, and he can use the Black Soul Stone, and anything that has demon essence and demon blood in it, he can suck it into that stone, and then all the demons are gone, and all the Nephilim are gone. Anything that has any trace of demon DNA, I guess, or blood, or whatever, they're all gone. The only thing left is going to be the angels. The eternal conflict is over. I think they've done a poor job of explaining that through the game, but that's what he's getting at. He didn't just decide, fuck humans. He kind of did, but he has a reason.
So, I mean, okay, all right. So I understand a little bit more about that, but it's just, I just don't feel that I got enough information as to what was going on. I mean, we only had, 3 fucking bosses? They're like, it's Ursiel, and he's this dude, and you gotta go fight him. I'm like, okay, well, give me more information about him during this story. I know that there's lore, right? But still, somebody coming into this game, they will know nothing about what's going on.
Right.
Adria, really? Didn't we kill that bitch?
It's just a setback.
It's just a setback, but I don't know. I just felt like, and here's Adria again.
No, I don't think we killed her. I think she got away. I'm pretty sure she got away.
Oh no, just the storytelling to me was not all that great.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So, hopefully we just didn't spoil something for Joe. I don't know if he's made it that far.
But see, I want to talk about because like Ro and I had talked about this, but the ending of it just left me feeling that's it. It left me feeling kind of like sex. That's it, really. I hope you didn't hear that. Okay. All right. Phew.
I saw a lot of comments on Twitter and social media about they didn't like the ending. And if you came into this expansion expecting the story to be wrapped up and finalized, you were entirely wrong. You had bad expectations. This is part 2 of 3, at least.
But it was like part 1.5. It wasn't really 2.
Yeah, I'm going to be really upset with the story if the next expansion has... I mean, let's face it. If you play it... Joe's planning on Torment, right? So he's taken a lot longer than we took. We were planning on Expert or Master?
Expert.
Okay, and it took us about 4.5 hours. And that's including I'm going to go get a water refill, or I'm going to go to the bathroom, or whatever. So I think for the story overall, I think they need to do a little bit better job of filling in the gaps, like you didn't know, about why he was targeting, the Nephilim and Sanctuary. I think they need to do a little bit better job of that because not everybody reads the books. A lot of that's in books. Not everybody reads them, and the WoW player base has talked about this for a long time. I think that whatever the next expansion is, they need to do a better job, and there needs to be more of it. There needs to be more story. I know they were probably focused a lot on adventure mode and that kind of stuff, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But the story didn't wrap anything up. It's a complete and utterly... I'm not going to say cliffhanger. I've heard some people say cliffhanger. It's not a cliffhanger.
No, it's not a cliffhanger.
Because you're not sitting there going, did they live? That's a cliffhanger. So it's not a cliffhanger, but it's definitely a wide open story. It's not done. And I'm just hoping that the next expansion, they put more meat to the story. But I think they didn't want to put too much playtime in there and have adventure mode locked behind it, a la dailies at the beginning of Mist of Pandaria. And have this, 8 to 10 hour play session you had to get to unlock adventure mode, which is, let's face it, that's what most of us are going to spend our time in. If we are going to do more than just play through the story, we're going to spend time in adventure mode, and that's where the bulk of our time for the life cycle of this expansion is going to be, is in adventure mode. And they didn't want to put a barrier to entry to that. So I get that from a design perspective. How long was the X-Pact as compared to the Diablo 2 expansion? I don't remember. I don't think I ever finished the Diablo 2 expansion. And that was so damn long ago. I guess we can... Joe, did you have any impressions you wanted to give about so far?
Not really. I mean, like I said, a lot of the stuff that I really like is stuff they cleaned up with 2.0. So I'm still working my way through the actual Reapers of Souls content. I'm having a few twinges of what you guys are talking about story-wise and whatever else, because we just got to the part where they're talking about Adria and everything, and I was like, why are we going after her again? I don't remember exactly where she fit into the original story. It's been so long. So that sort of stuff, I can see where you guys are talking about. There's some gaps, and they don't do a flashback or anything that kind of help you. So I had that conversation with Debbie earlier when we were doing it, so I don't know. We'll see.
And can either one of you explain to me like how we started the expansion? Like, because like I know the cinematic with Teriel and the Soulstone and all that kind of stuff, but what prompted my character to go talk to Teriel? Because I just logged into the game and boom, hey, there's Teriel, and he's telling me we got a problem.
Yeah, all right.
Well, we were in West March, and then you got to the one guy that came looking for us, but we ended up finding him, sort of. So I don't know exactly. I felt the same way, that we were just kind of all of a sudden in this area, and it explained why.
Right.
So.
Because I mean, I was like, okay, so now that I finished the story, I'm like, why did I even start this again? Like, I don't remember that impetus in the game. I don't remember that MacGuffin that got me going. You know what I mean? Although I guess you just start. When you start a level 1 character and you start playing through, it's just like, hey, I'm gonna just go into town. Oh, hey, look, dead shit. I'm gonna, zombie shit, and I guess you don't really have a reason to go, but it starts the story, and then here you just kind of pick up where you left off. I don't know, but you kind of don't at the same time.
Well, how can it take place a few weeks after Act 4 when it said for a while we knew peace? For a couple of weeks we knew peace. What the fuck, really? Come on.
Yeah, Rev, I know I missed something. I know I did. But I'm going to chalk it up to cold meds and not being entirely coherent most of the time the past few days. But so, Joe, did you have anything else to add there for your first impression so far?
Not really. Like I said, we're doing it on Torment, and I'm kind of glad now that we're doing it on Torment. It's really going to expand the time in which it takes to get through it. And,
oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, originally I would have just busted through it just for the story. So, I'm glad we're taking the time to really just go through it on Torment.
Well, that's another one of my issues with this is that for the story, all right, the story was okay in my book. It wasn't the greatest, but the story of Act 5 was okay. However, the flow of the dungeons really pissed me off, and especially. I know that Ronai started on, I think, Torment 1 or Torment 2. I think it was Torment 1. But we got our asses handed to us. And our monk and wizard are pretty damn good. And pretty well off geared. And we were just getting hounded.
Yeah.
And we had to, I mean, when we eventually got to Dedi, we had to bump down the difficulty significantly just to beat him, and I swear it took us an hour to get through one side dungeon.
Yeah, that's something
not like an area for a quest, but a side dungeon.
Yeah, that's something that I saw a lot of people mention is they thought the side dungeons were too big and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't really experience that because when Medi and I played, we didn't play on Torment or whatever. I wanted to see the story, and then I'll go back and play the other stuff on harder levels later. So we just kind of plowed through it all, didn't do many side dungeons. I think the actual main dungeons of the story, I think, are too long, too crowded with mobs. And I'm not saying I don't like them. I do, but compared to the amount of story I got, it seems like that was in there to make it take longer to play. Because they knew they wanted to have so many hours of playtime, but they couldn't give that to you in story. Does that make sense? It seemed like they overcompensated in that department because they didn't have much story to tell.
Yeah, they're like, we don't have a lot of bosses for you to kill and a lot of story for you, so here's a bunch of dungeons that you're going to be in for about 6 hours.
And then don't get me wrong, I will play back through it again, and I will do every side dungeon just to go do it. Because there's achievements for all that stuff too, and I'm that guy. So what did you guys think so far? What is your best and your worst moment in game? I'll go first because I really need to drink some water. I don't know what the best is. The worst is the guy who teleports you back, jails you, and he's putting poop underneath you at the same time. And oh, by the way, there's the big freezy bomb thing. I hate game mechanics like that because I can't overcome it. It's not that I didn't play well. I got fucked. That's. I hate mechanics like that, and it's just frustrating and nothing more to me because you really can't do anything to get out of it. And that's happened. We had a big mob where there was like 3 yellows and 2 or 3 packs of blues. We had this giant group, and it took us forever to get through it with dying and rezzing and everything coming back. And that's partly why we kept dying so much, is we would get teleported, jailed, and then poop would come. The green pool would come in us, and you're stuck. So, but for me, that's like the worst. As far as the best so far, I'm gonna say I ran through one area for adventure mode, and that's probably the best. I ran through on the Crusader, and that was a good time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm gonna mute and drink water. So
I think for me, one of the best things is playing on the Crusader. I think, level 19, and I really like the Crusader, and I don't know how I'm going to level my Witch Doctor when I have competition with the Crusader. Adventure mode is really, really fun. I'm leveling that way on my Crusader, and I like going for the bounties, going straight to my objective, and I can explore if I want to, but it's like they pretty much put you out in the field, and then you get the arrow to where your objective is. You go there, you get your bounty, boom, you're done. Another best moment, I can't even talk today. I don't know what's going on. Best moment is part of when you're going into Pandemonium, and it's the battering ram fight.
Yeah, that's cool. That's totally what the Deathwing fight should have been like.
Right, that has got to be my favorite part of the game. And when Ro and I first encountered it, we were like, "What the fuck, we?" And then when that big yellow came out, we're like, "We fuck,
right.
Crap." Yeah, my worst moment, it's in not just in reversals, but it was also in but it's rezzing. Blizzard has got to fix how people are rezzed in that game, especially during a boss fight when you only have one other person that you're playing with. Because unless they have some stuns to put on that boss or ads, you're pretty much fucked. Because you can't get res. Because every time somebody tries to res you, they get stunned or they get interrupted. So it's just like, you got to have that perfect RNG timing to res somebody. That really pisses me off. So, anyways. What about you, Joe?
God. Well, I'm trying to think of something that the worst part that we had was we went to one of the side dungeons, and I can't remember. It was when Westmarch is on fire. And we're running around, and I mentioned it reminded me of Stratholme, actually. But when we went into a side dungeon, which was like the sewers and all these rats and stuff like that, we were there, like you were saying, for probably at least an hour, maybe more. I think it'd have 2 levels to it. And my God, we got no benefit out of that at all. There was nothing worthwhile. It was just a side thing. We didn't get any good loot out of it. There was nothing to it. It was a complete waste of time. So that was a little frustrating. But the highlight for me was the boss Urziel, whatever. The first main boss, doing that on Torment, we took a long time. The fight probably was at least 10 minutes long, and we wiped several times. But the fact that we never dropped the level down and we just kept pushing through, it felt like raiding. It really felt like a 2-man raid, and we just kept pushing through and changing up how we dealt with it, and fixed some gems and swapped out some talents and stuff like that, and getting that down on that difficulty level was very satisfying. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me at this point. Like I said, we're still early on. I can't wait to keep going. I love it.
Yeah, but it's exactly what Ron had just put in the chat room. I had never cussed so much in my life.
Bullshit.
No, really.
No, I've heard you go. That's
really.
Yeah, that would be impressive. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I find it really hard to believe.
Oh, I was goddamming and so many words, so many cuss words. And oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
But Rose's description of Pandemonium level 3 when he said the ultimate troll level, he's right.
It is, and especially when we were on Torment. I mean, it just seemed to go on forever and ever and ever, and then there's level 2, and then forever and ever and ever. And I'm like, and we kept getting killed and killed and killed because of those blues and yellows.
There's a
and
lot
blues
of deaths, yes.
And those narrow hallways and those stupid little portals that if you get caught, you get frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And like a dumbass, keep running into them and getting frozen. But I was ready to throw my laptop, and I was just like, "Mother, son of a god, cuss words!" And then we saw, Pandemonium level 3. I was like, I gotta go smoke. I gotta go pull my cigarette. I gotta go punch a baby squirrel. Gotta go do something. I gotta step away from the laptop. And then we saw that hallway to the boss. I'm like, really, really, be right back again.
Yeah. When you get the rares and then like the elites and the rares at the same time, and you've got all that stuff going on at the same time, that's the most rough it gets. We've learned to kite hardcore at that point. We'll even like split up and spread them out, and we get real strategic about it. It does take forever, but the problem I have is the combinations that some of those freaking things have. You get walled, you get frozen, you get there's nothing more frustrating to me in this game. Talking about low points, I guess this could have been one of them for me, is when you can't move at all because there's so many things around you. You can't even find ground to click on, and then you're frozen and you're walled, and that's when I want to throw my keyboard. So, but other than that, I like the challenge that we're dealing with right now. Like I said, it's extending the gameplay for me. So, but I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm on this show, so Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that I'm level 70 yet on my monk, so I may play through the act again.
I may on my barbarian. I don't know. I think my barbarian's like 66 or 67.
Yeah.
I think you would be. I think if you did every side dungeon and everything on your way, I think you would be level 70 by the time you ended the game.
Yeah, but at that point, after being driven insane, I was just like, let's get this shit done.
Right.
Yeah. If you just done 67, and we're just looking for Adrian now, so that's tells you how it is on Torment.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna level
a
lot.
On Torment, you get an extra XP boost, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we're doing it too. All the extra and gold and everything else too. So.
I think when I get higher up and on my Crusader, I'll start trying to do Torment. Don't know. But for right now, I mean, I'm gonna be leveling her in adventure mode.
Yeah, that's
they're just so fun.
Yeah, I played. Since you and I just beat it this afternoon, I beat it this afternoon. You'd beaten it the other day, and you got to beat the story to unlock adventure mode. I went through with my Crusader and played through basically the first. When you go into adventure mode, you start off in New Tristram, and there's Tyrael, and he explains in game how it all works and everything. He doesn't explain everything in detail. Like I still don't know what the portal thing is.
Oh, the Nephilim Rift?
Yeah, the Nephilim Rift. I have no idea what that is. I didn't, and I can open the thing up, but I just didn't have time. Mm-hmm. But I went and did all the bounties. It was kind of cool. It was really fast. I think I did all 5 or there's 5 or 6 for that, and I did them all in about an hour. Got 5 or 6 levels on my toon or character, whatever we call them in Diablo. I'm gonna say toon. Had a good time. It was like, just like you said earlier, go in, there's my objective. I don't have to explore. I don't have to, do whatever. And, I played it on, I bumped it up from normal to, I think I put it on master. I bumped it up 1 or 2. I think I bumped it up 2 levels. And it was a little challenging, because I still don't know the class that well. And he's limited on what abilities he's got. But yeah, it was fun. I had a blast. It just, I like the quick in and out stuff. Each one of them.
That's what she said.
Ah, Jesus. I
don't think Jesus said that.
I don't know. That's probably got edited. That part probably got edited out.
Wow.
But I love games that I can just hop in, get some 15, 20 minutes, and hop back out. And they brought that to Diablo. Yeah, you're not going to clear that whole map, but you can go get 1 or 2 bounties in 15 minutes or so, maybe a half hour for one probably 10 or 15 minutes. Because like I said, I did all 5 of them in a little under an hour.
That's nice.
And there's other maps you can go to as well. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't get to play with the Rift. Did you, Medi, play with the Rift at all?
Yes, I did. It's pretty fun. I didn't know what to expect at first, but you get 5 of the shards, the Rift shards, and then you just go click on the pillar that's in the little town, and then you get teleported to just the inside of a random dungeon, and it's basically a loot run. About 10-15 minutes is what Blizz is saying. It took me about 30 minutes, just because I had to go back into town and empty bags. And kind of lowered the difficulty. I was on, I think I was on hard on my Crusader, but she was like level 15 when I was doing the Nephilim Rift. But basically you run around, get loot, and you have to like kill so many of the Rift Guardians, or you have to kill the minions of the Rift Guardian, and it gives you like this kind of like an action bar that you have to fill up, kind of like in WoW. And as soon as you fill it up to red, that's when the Guardian comes out, and it's a purple, and you have to fight them, and then you're done. But it gives you a nice gear. I got several legendaries, a set ring, the ring that goes with the set. Got a couple of legendary plans, and a bunch of blood shards, which are kind of interesting.
You use those to buy a piece of random loot from a vendor.
Yeah, it's mystery loot, and it's based off of your level and your tune. So,
I honestly think it's just a random drop. You just get to pick if it's a weapon, a helm, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise it's just a random drop. You just get to dictate some of it.
Right.
So
I'm pretty pleased with Adventure Mode, though.
Yeah, so far I'm kind of digging it. I'm looking forward to playing through more of it. One thing that I was doing with my Crusader is, since the crafting stuff is all account wide, I've been crafting stuff for him, and you can craft stuff way higher than what's dropping for me right now. So he's pretty OP. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been getting some drops here and there too from Adventure Mode. But I look forward to that's probably where I'm going to spend the majority of my time in Diablo.
Yeah,
it's going to be Adventure Mode. I would love to get a bunch of us together and just go through some Adventure Mode stuff. I think it would be fun. So, but anyway, we are. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Because we're coming up time. We need to wrap it up. So.
Nope, that's it.
And my throat's telling me it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
If you guys can't tell, but so Maddie, why don't you go ahead and take the next one, and then.
Next mode. What race will Joe's new level 90 be? You're a hunter. Woot woot. And you're going to be what, horde? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have to decide what race you are going to be, and we have a straw poll. Thank you to Revnar. That you can go and you can vote on which race you want Joe to be.
Yes, indeed. I wouldn't even
Yeah,
know
I
where
want
it's
to see
at.
who's winning right now.
I
Yeah.
know.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Oh, trolls.
It's fairly close between the first 3.
It is.
Very interesting.
I would personally, and I don't have to play it, so I really don't care. I would be okay with anything except what's in third. To be honest with you.
Hey.
I don't like Blood Elves. I'm just saying. So how long are we gonna do this? And then are we gonna do a male or female? And then after that, it's basically you pick the server, and then we pick a way for somebody to name it, right?
Yep.
Okay. How long do we want to leave this one up? Because we just started this one last week, right?
I think so, actually.
Okay. So let's leave us up for a couple more weeks, and we'll pimp this one out a little bit more, and then we'll figure out male or female, because that's going to be another 50-50 like Hoarder Alliance, which ironically didn't come down 50-50. It was pretty close though on the Hoarder Alliance. The Horde won by like what, 3 votes, 2 votes? I know it wasn't lopsided.
It wasn't too bad, but I can't remember.
By a total of 32 votes.
It won by 32 votes?
Horde won with a total of 32 votes.
Okay, so how many did the Alliance have? It was like 30?
I think there's only like 5 in between, something like that. It was close.
It was close. Anyway. But I need to get back to the show notes. So yeah, we put a straw poll in the chat room. We'll have it up in the show notes as well. Coming up on May 17th, we are going to do our second Child's Play Marathon. That's Saturday, May 17th, starting at 11 a.m. Last year we had a goal of $1,000, and we exceeded that thanks to you guys. This year we're shooting big. We're going for 2,500 this year. We've got plenty of stuff in the works. Just keep an eye on the Twitter feed for the show, which we'll get to in a minute, or the website, and listen to the show, and we'll give you updates on what we have working out, when we have an actual schedule and everything. Some of the stuff we're going to do is we're talking about, I think we've actually said this before, we're talking about doing like a take our raid team and another raid team and do a race through like a flex mode wing or something like that. So that's some of the stuff we're talking about doing. We're still trying to figure out how to do that and put it on the stream. We're not sure. Being it's out of my home, not some studio. So anyway, keep an eye on the Twitter feed and on the website and listening to the show, and we will let you know what's going on when we have a schedule of events. Probably no tournaments this year like we did last year. It was just a little too hectic to get done. So anyway, that's it for the Child's Play tournament or Child's Play Marathon. So also, I guess, I was going to say, just wanted to add to that. So far, we have a few like special guests who may actually be here in person. I'm not going to list names because I don't want to put people on the spot and then have them be like, I can't make it, man. So
yeah.
No, and that was not okay. That was not because. Anyway, you want to say it?
Do we really want to do the same thing 2 weeks in a row?
Take it away, Katie.
Is it really going to be that funny again? I don't know if I can do it again. Oh, God, Katie. All right. Hi, guys. It's Katie. I just wanted to tell you guys more about the show. Epic Podcasts here. It's a special show. We're full of swans here. Everyone's a swan. Even the people in the chat don't always agree with you guys, but swans nonetheless, because it's on the inside. You keep that on the inside. Your gooses. Some of your silly gooses do come out on the outside. Anyway, about the show, we just want to let you know, you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. You leave us a review or a thumbs up, because, sometimes Katie gets kinky and likes the thumbs up. If you're listening via download, join the live chat at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays at epicpodcast.com/live. Again, don't worry about the www. That's just nobody cares about that anymore. Epic Podcast, though, just as this is really cool, you got to understand this. Epic Podcast, guys, is a member of the Catalyst Gaming Media, full of swans. Be sure to check out our other podcasts, YouTubers, bloggers, webcomics, and more at catalystgamingmedia.com. Also, be sure to check out the forums. The forums are a very good place where all the swans get together and chat it up. Yes, check out the forums of the Catalyst site and participate in the growing community there. Again, if you want to come to the website and learn more about us, not me really, they don't include me. I'm just this little side project that they keep talking about, but I don't really get time on the site. But if you want to go there, just go to epicpodcast.com. If you want to email the podcast, it's epicpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, the YouTube channel where Lig does all his special Swanee type stuff. And, he does his shoutcasting and all kinds of fun stuff. He's just the swan. He doesn't always wear pants, apparently. We found out earlier, but that's a whole different thing. Go to the video site over there at youtube.com/theepicpodcast and see this pantless wanted to do his thing. And then, of course, there's the Walmartian guy. He's a slut. Anyway, well, I can't believe I did that. YouTube.com/WowMartian if you want to go see his stuff. Then there's, of course, the Twitter where people are tweeting and twatting and everything else at epic_podcast. You can go and talk to the lovely people with the podcast there. And at Lignar, of course, at WowMartian, and at Medicakes. And that's all the tweeting and twatting and twitting. And so that's it. Ta-da!
Wow.
Twitting and twatting.
I'm sorry. I was trying to make it interesting.
Oh, it's like Tweedledee and Tweedletwat. What?
Whoa.
Wow.
All right. Well, we are an explicit podcast. So you're going to really tell me that there's an issue there.
And because he's in the chat room and I had to say it, and the whole sassy swans, he's stupid.
Yeah, see, I was thinking about it. Was the SNL character? Oh, I can't think of it now. From Weekend Update. Oh shoot!
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's somebody was saying it was more like that. I'm just like, well, it really is based off of Katie, but yeah, apparently it comes off more like that.
Yeah, because then they have like the sorority girl or the valley girl or whatever on Weekend Update. Is that what the one you're talking about?
No. Oh God. Oh, shoot, I can't remember anymore. Somebody will say it in chat.
Yeah, probably. Or you'll find it later on YouTube and send me a link.
I put a picture of it last week.
Totally missed that.
Yeah.
Totally missed that.
Nah, it's okay. Not a big deal. So, but yeah, that's yeah. I don't know if we could do that.
Actually, did the chat room just tell us?
Stefan, yes. 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 Very, very Stefan. So maybe Katie is our Stefan. There's that. Thank God for that.
Anyhow, guys, we need to wrap the show up.
Kermit next week or something.
Actually, work on Kermit or you could do maybe Fozzie Bear.
Oh, I don't know if I could do Kermit for sure. I've done Kermit for years, but I don't know if I can do Fozzie.
Come up with something. We'll surprise us.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyhow, guys, we need to wrap it up. I need to get the edit going and all that kind of fun stuff, and I need to kind of stop talking. My throat's killing me. So I guess until next week, have fun and WoW and Diablo. Yeah.
Stay special, swans.
Ah.